Sugarcoating, that's a bad day at the office for Northampton Town today.
Yeah, unbelievably bad, yeah, terrible. Exactly, they didn't, no disrespect to Oldham, they are what they are and they've done it really well today. They outperformed us in terms of what they've done. They put it in behind us. They ran harder than us, especially in the first half. Second half I thought we got a bit of a response. We give them a soft goal. And I said, you've got to stay in ties because when you get to 2-0, get one back. You never know. As you see at the last minute there, we have a really opportunity. If it's still at 2-0, you get yourself into extra time and find yourself lucky. But no, everything about that today I didn't like, and I've just told them. And I'm gutted. I'm gutted for the supporters because I wanted to give them something to shout about today. But I've just questioned them for the first time, Tim. And yeah, as you know, I'm not happy, man, tonight.
You say that Oldham ran harder than your players. I guess in your book, any manager's book, that's pretty much unacceptable, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I think I can't sugarcoat it because everyone's seen it. Everyone's seen what it is today. It's not about anything else. It's not about decisions. It's about mentality, and they wanted it more than us. You've seen them how many times. They had lads running back harder than us, winning 50-50s, winning second balls, and we showed it all. We showed them what Oldham are about all week. They knew how to harm them and hurt them. And what we haven't done, we haven't executed anything today. And when we have done a half decent well, we got ourselves in good positions, and we get a goal from it. Something what we worked on in midweek in the season. That ball going into that far post, people getting in the box, and we get a goal from it. So we're giving them the right information, but I've just questioned the mentality because it feels like every time we go to a team who shall we say are not in a good run, even when we've been in League One, I don't think we've turned up as well as we have when we have a big team or a so-called big team, and that's the disappointing thing. So I think there's a mentality in there, or might start being to creep in, that they're a bit better than what they are. And what we've got to do now is, I've just said, we're going to strip it back to basics this week. I'm going to strip it back to basics. I'm going to make sure that they know who they are and who we are, and give myself a bit of time to breathe as well. But really, I'm really disappointed and gutted to be out the cup.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, Kevin, but do you feel that certain players, maybe the whole team, let you down today?
Look, I don't think they want to let down, because sometimes you get that. As I said, I'm really happy with the squad and everything else, but I've got to question them today. I've got to question them, I've got to answer them. What they've got to do, they've got to prove me wrong, and they've got to answer that. And they've got to prove the supporters, because that's the first time the supporters have had a go at them today, and had a go at us, and rightly so. And we'll take it on the chin, because it was a poor performance from us. And when you put poor performances like that, they deserve to have their say. And yeah, as I've just said to them, I'm not having that. I'm not having that. So what we've got to do now, we've got to react in the right way. And they'll be watching the game back, like all them fans have had to watch it, and I've had to watch it today. They'll watch it back and see, and have to go through it, because there's nothing worse. And I know as a player, because I've been in them moments. I know as a player, when you're looking back and you're sort of wincing at yourself, because you can see that other player looks like he wants it more than you, and that's what I've just said to them. So they're going to have to go through it, but what they're going to have to do now is react in the right way, positive way, and that's what we'll do this week.
You've got a week before you play competitively again against Mansfield at Sixfields in the lunchtime kick-off next Saturday, so you've got a bit of time to try and, as you say, take it back to basics and kind of get the Cobbers restarted.
Yeah, exactly, because Mansfield are going to be the same, very competitive. They can run all day, they'll want to work hard, they'll earn the right. We didn't do any of that today, and when we did do it a little bit, we got a bit of success, but again, yeah, really unhappy with a lot of it today. And look, I'm never going to sugarcoat over things, Tim. I'm never ever going to hide away from it. We are where we are today, and I'm disappointed that we're not in the next round. But you've got to give credit to Oldham. They run harder, they went harder, they made decisions better than us in that first half. But when you look back at the goals, really poor on our behalf, and individual mistakes as well as a team collectively, and people have got to own to that. They've got to take ownership, and long balls going in the box and people not going with runners. Yeah, really poor.
You're not a man to make excuses, Kevin, but you were, again, without some key players today. you weren't able to bring on List and Eves until quite late in the contest. They made a difference when they came on. They're the kind of players like Hoskins, like Wormleighton, and the others who you really missed today.
Yeah, of course. Look, it is one of those things. We're going to have injuries. Everyone's going to have injuries throughout the season. What they've got to do is the lads who step in have got to show what they've got. They didn't in the first half. A bit better in the second, but as I said, you can't then go and gift them a goal like we did. You know, I know Ross has come out and was nowhere near it, but you know, beforehand, Nesta could get in front of Garner and not allowing them to get it in and put it in behind. All them little bits which comes down the line, which you know is easy avoidable, and it weren't. And you know, the first goal against Teddy Taylor, you know, it happened against Luton at the weekend. We showed them can't let people get in front of you, and because Naki Wells nearly scores a goal. It's exactly the same today, and then it ends up being, look, it's a fantastic finish by the kid, but it ends up being the ball going back in our box, and that's where they get the first goal from, and you know, that gives them a real good, gives them a bounce to go and do that run. Yeah, it goes a platform. Yeah, it gives them a foundation to go and then do what they did and run harder, and it gives you that a little extra motivation, that little 5%, 10%. But then we've got to realise as a team that we're in a game then, and you've got to then claw it back, and we didn't until probably the second half, where we ended up probably with a little bit more play, but again, you know, gifting that goal was so poor from us.
You mentioned that Eves and Liss were back from injury today.
Yeah.
He didn't get on, and it's kind of been overshadowed by the result, I guess. But John Guthrie out since New Year's Day, on the bench today. That's a plus, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, it was. I mean, Guthrie, we had no intention of bringing him on, but it was just nice to have him around the group. Just sort of get him used to being back around it, because you know, when you've been out for 9-10 months, it's a real, you know, thing to come in and just sort of see it all again and be it. So it was just sort of to give him that taste there. You know, we stayed over last night, so he was with the lads. He's the captain of the club, so all them little bits, it'll be good for his recovery and him getting back to where we want him to be. So yeah, it was nice, and because obviously we had the 9 subs, it was nice to get him around the lads and be around the lads again for the first time, and you know, since January, I think it is, February, January. So you know, yeah, it's a nice moment for him, but he wouldn't have enjoyed watching that. I bet you he's wishing that he was back up at home, like I think some of the supporters was like.
Just a word about John. I know it's about other things today, but is he close to actually playing? I know he was on the bench and was kind of a token substitute, but is he actually close to playing?
Yeah, well, he's doing all his work. So what we did, obviously his rehab work is the most important thing and everything else, but again, we wanted him on the bench to be on the pitch to just, you know, to get all that back, and to give him that, you know, the belief that he's coming back pretty soon. And yeah, we're looking at the next couple of weeks, we're hopefully to get him on the pitch and to start playing competitively again pretty soon.
Okay, and finally, I guess a tough week ahead for the players. They're going to know about it, Kevin. They're going to know about your ire and your determination to get back on track.
It's a tough week for us all, look, because no one likes losing, and we don't like losing in the manner what we did. So now what you want to do is you want to get back on the pitch and you want to do it, and the only way you do it is by, you know, as I said, we'll go back to basics. We'll do everything back in what we do in work. You know, as I've just asked them then, you know, is there anything what they give us today which we haven't shown you through the week? And they couldn't answer me, you know. Well, they did answer me, but they said no, there's nothing. So they know firmly where I am and where I'm standing. But look, what they've done, this group, if they've all reacted really well, and what I'll be expecting, you know, I'll be expecting them to react again, and hopefully in the right way. So yeah, let's see the reaction we get next week at Six Fields, where we want to get back to winning ways.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers.